Remember, by the way, it's not a coincidence as far as the violence coming from one party either, in the sense that they're the ones who say, grab your guns. They're the ones that say violence is the answer. War is the answer. Now to turn around and pretend that liberals are as much into violence or those kind of remedies, well, it just flies in the face of absolute reality. But the media will go along, I'm telling you this now, because they will, and I will show it to you in a second, I will prove it to you. They want to call it even. They're desperate to call it even. It's not even. Look at the results. So, July 27th, 2008, Jim Adkisson shoots and kills 2 people at a progressive church in Knoxville, Tennessee, wounding 2 others. He says that it was that he had read books about how it was the liberals' fault. He wished he could have killed the top liberals, but he didn't have an opportunity, so he went to a church that he found to be a liberal church in the area and shot innocent liberals instead. Huh, interesting. Conservative targeting liberals. April 4th, 2009, neo-Nazi Richard Poplawski shoots and kills 3 police officers responding to a 911 call to his home in Pittsburgh. He tells his friends earlier, Obama is coming for my guns. I heard Obama's coming for my guns, and I'm not going to let them do it. April 25th, 2009, Joshua Cartwright, 28, a member of the Florida National Guard, shoots and kills 2 Okaloosa County Sheriff's deputies. Same exact thing. His wife reports that he said, they're coming for my guns. The government is coming for my guns. I'm not going to let them take it. Instead, he shoots 2 police officers. May 31st, 2009, Scott Roeder shoots and kills Dr. George Tiller, an abortion provider in the foyer of the Reformation Lutheran Church in Wichita, Kansas. And that's another interesting theme, that they like shooting people in church. But they say, oh, no, they couldn't have been. It's not like anybody incited them to that. Let me pause here to give you a clip to see if someone incited them or not. Let's go to clip number 8 to see if we can find out who incited people to kill Dr. Tiller.
In the state of Kansas, there is a doctor, George Tiller, who will execute babies for $5,000. Dr. George Tiller, known as Tiller the Baby Killer. Tiller the Baby Killer, as some call him. Dr. George Tiller in Kansas, known as Tiller the Baby Killer. Dr. George Tiller, known as Tiller the Baby Killer. Tiller the Baby Killer. The notorious Tiller the Baby Killer. I wanted George Tiller and Tiller the Baby Killer going, hey, I can make more money killing babies now. Tiller is executing fetuses in his Wichita clinic for $5,000. Tiller performs scores, perhaps thousands, as we've reported. Tiller aborts thousands of babies pretty much for any reason.
Gee, I wonder where they got the idea. I'm sure it was totally random. It's not like they turned on Fox News and were told who to directly target for their violence. June 10th, 2009, James von Brunn, a convicted felon and hardcore neo-Nazi, walks into the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C., and shoots and kills a security guard. Again, right-wing, anti-government, killing based on race and politics. Again, a conservative. Again, targeting people he viewed to be on the other side. July 13th, 2009, Gilbert Ortez Jr. kills a police deputy in Chambers County, Texas, with an assault rifle. Same motif. They're coming for my guns. I got to kill the police. They told me it's big government. February 18th, 2010, Joseph Stack of Austin, Texas, flies a single-engine plane into an office building containing nearly 200 IRS employees, killing 1 and wounding 13. He had mixed politics, but his main message, as with Loughner, anti-government. The government is the enemy, and I must kill the government. Gee, I wonder where he got that idea. May 20th, 2010, Jerry Kane Jr., 45, and his son Joseph Kane, 16, fatally shoot 2 Arkansas police officers with an AK-47 assault rifle during a routine traffic stop on Interstate 40 in West Memphis. They were going to kill liberals, but they got into, well, I should say, again, the same idea of, watch out, son, they're coming for our guns. As soon as we run into the police, we're going to give it to them 1 bullet at a time. That was, by the way, almost exactly what Lars Larson, a conservative talk show host, said on air, approvingly reading an email by one of his listeners, if the government comes for me, I'm going to give them my weapons 1 bullet at a time. And you see that list every single time we have these conservative nut jobs giving the cops their weapons 1 bullet at a time. Now, July 18th, 2010, California Highway Patrol officers arrest Byron Williams, 45, after a shootout on I-580 in which more than 60 rounds were fired. Where was he going? He was going to the ACLU and the Tides Foundation because Glenn Beck told him that that is where the liberals were conspiring to control the government and to control the country. And he had to take out those liberals because Beck told him to do it. He told him that it was the cancer. He says, oh, Beck sometimes says not to do violence, but I know he's winking and nodding because he tells me where the target is. And luckily, no one died in that immense shootout. If he had actually gotten to the Tides Foundation, God knows how many would have been murdered. Now, January 8th, 2011, Jared Lee Loughner, 22, shoots U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords and 19 others at a Congress in Your Corner event at a Safeway supermarket in Tucson. He kills 6, including federal judge John Roll, and wounds 14, including Giffords, who was shot in the head. But I'm sure that it was all a coincidence that all of these people were anti-government, conservatives, who were out to kill either liberals or the government officials or cops, people that they viewed to be on the side of big government. I'm not saying that there aren't psychos in the world that are going to do killings. What I'm saying is, what the right wing does is take advantage of those psychos. They turn those psychos and they direct them. They say, oh, you want to kill somebody? You want to get violent? You want to grab your gun? I'm going to show you what you should do with your gun. You should aim it at these guys. That's how they create psychotic, hate-seeking missiles. Now, to give you a sense of more of the violence that was instigated by the right wing, here is Glenn Beck talking about, well, murdering Michael Moore. Clip number 9.
Hang on, let me just tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about killing Michael Moore. And I'm wondering if I could kill him myself or if I would need to hire somebody to do it.
Or you could just tell somebody on the radio.
I think I could. I think he could be looking me in the eye, you know, and I could just be choking the life out. Is this wrong?
Yes. Yes, it is dead wrong. And he says, look, I could do it or somebody else could do it as long as somebody kills Michael Moore. Look, that's a direct incitement of violence. Somebody just got put away for that in New Jersey. That's a crime. We're not talking about, hey, you know what, they used targets, they used bullseyes, they had loaded language. No. He said, I would like to kill Michael Moore. But they say, gee, golly gee willikers, where would anybody get the idea that it was us directing the violence? If you don't think that's enough, here's another set of clips from Glenn Beck.
Everything that is getting pushed through Congress, including this health care bill, they are all driven by President Obama's thinking on one idea: reparations. His goal is creating a new America, a new model, a model that will settle old racial scores.
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
Like it or not, fascism is on the rise.
President Obama, why don't you just set us on fire?
Maybe our government wants to stir the pot so they can use the iron fist and crush people.
But I'm going to go a step further than Rush Limbaugh. I think Barack Obama doesn't want America to succeed.
Yeah. So, Speaker Pelosi, I just wanted to... You going to drink your wine? I want you to drink it now. Drink it. By the way, I put poison in your... No,
Yeah, gee, I wonder where they got the idea to kill Democratic politicians. Golly gee willikers. How about guns? Where'd they get that idea? Let's go to Mike Gallagher, conservative talk show host, who, by the way, replaced Glenn Beck in New York on his radio station. Here's the brilliance he was promoted for.
See, liberals hate the idea of an armed citizenry. They just hate the concept. They despise it. It terrifies them. You know what? I have been promising for the last 6 months that I want to get a gun. I mean, it's no question, there's no mystery that my wife Denise, when she was alive, she abhorred the idea. We fought about it. We actually had some pretty bad arguments because I really felt as her guardian and as my family's protector, I want to have a gun. She died last June. It's time I get a gun and do what I know to be right. Well, you know what? I don't want to do it alone. I just realized something. You know what would be a perfect exercise? For our show, we need to get a national movement to register as many people as we can who, like me, have not been gun owners to become gun owners.
Gee, I wonder where conservatives or psychos got the idea to grab their guns, that the government was coming for them, that the Democratic politicians were the problem, and that they could seek a Second Amendment remedy to that problem. Gee, I don't know. If you're still not convinced, here's another compilation. This one's from Brave New Films. Check it out and see if you can make it come to a conclusion.
Opponents of reform are making their feelings known in a very ugly way, phoning anonymous threats to members of the House.
I hope you die.
You will rue the day you did this, Mr. Stupak.
Louise Slaughter received one call threatening to, quote, kill the children of the members who voted yes.
Vandalism at the Arizona office of Gabby Giffords.
White powder has been sent to Representative Anthony Weiner's office.
Faxes like these, images of a noose and a Nazi SS insignia.
Someone hurled a brick through the window of my district office in the dark of night.
Another brick shattered glass doors at the Democratic Party headquarters in Rochester, New York.
A pair of Tea Party activists in Virginia posted what they thought was Congressman Tom Perriello's home address, urging opponents of the health care bill to, quote, drop by.
Federal and local authorities are investigating a severed gas line at the home of Congressman Tom Perriello's brother.
April 19th, the modern-day anti-government movement is trying to get as many people as they can openly carrying firearms to get as close as they legally can to Washington, D.C.
There are rifles being cleaned right now. Do you folks understand?
Being what? Cleaned? From where?
There are rifles being taken out of the closet and cleaned.
At this point, when you turn on the media, and I will show you some clips in the next segment, there is an effort to pretend that it's both-sided. That is nothing short of a lie. It is not both-sided. It is clearly one-sided. It has been directed almost exclusively at Democrats, liberals, progressives, and government officials. It has been directed exclusively by conservative talk show hosts and politicians. And it has been at the hands of exclusively conservatives. Now, they might be psychos, but they're conservative psychos. So it is idea of whitewashing this. And one final trick that they do to whitewash it is, oh, no, you shouldn't be upset. Yeah, so what? 6 people got killed, including a 9-year-old girl. Yeah, now that's very upsetting, but let's not worry about who incited it. Let's just focus on a lone gunman. It's always a lone gunman. He acted alone. No need to get alarmed. We don't want to change anything. We don't want to call out the people who are responsible. Well, that would be journalism. No, no, no. What we need to do instead is to protect the guilty, to make sure that there are no consequences for them, that they can go ahead and do this again and again. And that's why I'm telling you. Because if you don't find a way to limit this damage, and I'm not saying pass laws against speech or anything like that, but I'm saying, hey, if there aren't consequences, like perhaps a sponsor says, hey, you know what, I don't want to sponsor a guy who's talking about killing every liberal in the country. I don't want to sponsor a guy who's talking about assassinating people like Michael Moore. If there aren't some, or at least at the very least, somebody's pointed out and say, these guys did it. Not the killing, but the inciting. They're the ones who incite day in and day out. If you don't say that, they're going to go back to doing it tomorrow. And then the next time there's a psycho, and I read you only a partial list of the psychos that did the killings. They will do it again and again. Beck and Limbaugh and all the others will come out and go, no one could have seen it coming, and go back on the air and do the same exact incitement of violence. Somebody has to begin to put an end to it. It's killing us, literally. Young Turks.